Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go again. Part two. Y'all, my earring had fell off earlier. I just didn't put it back on. The back came off. I don't know where it's at. Somewhere on this floor. But in the midst of that, I had finished what I was cooking or preparing. And I said, you know what? Let me go on the cooking because I'm going to tell you the truth. I was hungry. And so I didn't want to come on here eating, even though people do mukbangs and stuff like that. I just wanted to get a little sample of it. I took a picture of it, okay, and I'm gonna put it on, you know, put the video up. That is, I love my lipstick. It's almost like lotion to me. I don't like my lips to look, but anyhow. So I want to put. I got a back over here. Do I? Yeah. Okay, I got a back right here on this earring, and I'm gonna put it on. Cause honey, boom. Here we go. Hope it don't come off, but if you do, I sell jewelry and I have more. Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever part of the world you may be at. Come through the door. This is all positive over here. If you see the thumbnail, I had said I was coming back on. This is too loose. And this is part two. Okay. I earlier. I said back on. This is part two of that video. On the first video, you can check it out. I was cooking and talking. Now, it might seem to one that I was all over the place. Maybe because I was doing two things at once. So I said, you know what? Come back on and explain about what you was talking about. So here we go. Ohana's. We are family. And I got all my brothers and sisters and me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and dance. We are family. You know why? Because I said so. Ohana means family in Hawaii. So that's why I sing or try to sing that song. That's why I sing it. That's my intro. Everyone has a different intro. How you doing, Angel? Shout out to Angel. How you doing? Thank you. What I'm gonna be talking about, I haven't gotten to it yet. Okay, you can give me a like, subscribe, and turn on all your post notifications. You can catch my live, honey. I am all the way live, and I'm not just on here talking. Like I said earlier, check the video out. I was cooking. I was doing exercise. I have that video up. I do multiple of things. So let me get to what I was talking about or try to talk about, but I didn't finish. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live show. For those of you that are new, welcome to you. And if you like, subscribe to my channel and turn on all your notifications and you won't miss a beat of what I have to share with you. Okay? Like, like, like. So it's all positive over here, honey. You're going to get multiple of things. Okay? Now I'm about to take my goalie. Okay? These taste amazing. Gluten-free, non-GMO, vegan, and unfiltered apple cider vinegar. This is not that segment though, but I just thought I'd share. I'm sharing everything within reason with you guys. I'm on this weight loss journey. For those of you that don't know, I come on here, talk about that, show my supplements, my pills, my overcoming, my exercise. And in the midst of that, yesterday I was about to start a topic, and I kind of did, but I didn't finish. So I said, you know what? I'm going to come back on. And I didn't, but I didn't make it a promise. Typically, when I come on like anywhere from 9 in the morning, 10-ish. Then if I come back on in the afternoon, it'll be in between 12 and 1 Central Standard Time. Okay, so I tried on twice, but at least once. And typically it could be Monday to Sunday. Okay, Central Standard Time. So I said all that. This, this is my tea. Now here is some tea. The reason why I'm coming on here, I want to discuss something. I have discussions. If you want to ask a question, we are here for it. I don't know everything, but I know a lot of things. I'm not for everyone, but I'm for someone. I don't want no negative energies. If you could thumb up the video for me, I would appreciate it. I had something in my mouth. I appreciate it. So I said I was going to come on here and talk about a topic. And the topic that I was going to talk about, and I started talking about this morning, was about men's being abused, mistreated, and things that the outcome of that, the outcome of it. I was married to someone, I've been married twice. First husband, military, Army Reserves. When he got out of high school, he was 18. He joined, I mean, not joined, he started working at Coca Cola. He's from Daytona Beach, Florida. I'm a Kansas native, okay? First husband. He was in the military, and between the military and the Army Reserves, I'd say about 20 plus years, okay? He's no longer living, okay? He passed away on Father's Day of 2017, okay? Amazing father, husband, provider. Okay, so I'm gonna move fast forward. That was just a little intro. Hello, shout out to Random Channel 517. Hey there, hey. Thank you for coming through. You can give me a thumbs up if you like to. So I was married to my kid's father. We was together a total of 16, 17 years. We was married 15. Okay. I was young. I was 18 when I met him. He was in the Army. He had just came back from Korea. And we met, and he fell in love with me the first day. I was a small, skinny female. You didn't see no bones though, but I was small. Okay. Yes. And so one would probably say it moved it fast with us. He fell in love with me the first time he saw me. This is Scout's honor for real. Got married when I was 19. So I'm going to go past that. Married twice. My second husband, met him. Both my husband was providers, hardworking men. I mean, didn't mind breaking their back, okay? Sweat from their brows. Everyone has problems. Everybody go through something. You know, some is worse than others, some is not. All of us go through something in life, you know. And unless it's something dramatic, then that's a big, huge red flag. As red as this, okay? About as red as this. Probably redder. Red as that up there. My fingers doing it right. Guess I'm heavy right there. So, me and my kid's dad, when we moved to Florida, well, I'm not going to make it about that. I'm just going to talk about my second husband because he's not here. And I have shared multiple times about that. But I'm going to get to the part of when people go through things. I met him, my second husband, in September of 1999. Okay, I moved from Cincinnati, Ohio. That's where I was, to a different state. And I came from Cincinnati, Ohio in May of 1999. Okay. Worked, had two jobs. Ended up quitting one because the other one, I started it having something so I could have some money. And I didn't mind it. I was cleaning offices, okay? No toilets or nothing. And so my brother, rest his soul, and my stepsister, I don't like saying stepsister, but that's what she was. They was both working at this place too. So I got hired on the spot. I have an amazing resume. Live with my mom. She was the first person I saw when I came to the state, and I shared that with all, everyone because I had went through something before I got here. That's why a lot of times I said I escaped my abuser and attacker. I've you go on down the thing, I have a red thumbnail and I have a patch on my neck. Check it out. So anyhow, and I just felt like a little kid back home with my mom. And I must say, and this is not to bash my mom, she was a good mom, young mom, but better mom as to us as we gotten older. Matter of fact, she was my friend, okay? And I'm just keeping it real. I'm not bashing my mom because she's not here, but that's just a little backstory. I took care of my mom. I was an disobedient child. I was an obedient child. I was no troublemaking person. So anyhow, May of 1999. I met him September of 1999. November of 1999, that's when I told y'all before I was a registered child care provider. Still am. Okay. My number has not disappeared. It's still in the system. And if I wanted to do child care right now or foster care, they could pull it up. I never had no what you call it, violations or anything. Okay. Still have the same number since November of 1999. Did you heard me? I also was a PCA worker, personal care aide, but I wanted to be a certified nurse assistant. And so, yeah, hmm I took care of my mom. I took care of my mom. So I met this guy, as I was saying, September of 1999. He was so nice. He was kind, hard worker. And maybe say 6 months, like I said earlier, maybe it was a pinch of a red flag. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people have something that somebody see and kind of be like pumping the brakes a little bit. But once you find out about a person, right, then that's when you can say take it or leave it, run for the board or stay. It wasn't major. It was like a dot that you put on the eye, okay? But as time went on, he was married. She passed away the same month I came to the state, where my mom was. I didn't know him, okay? Mind you, I said September, right, of 1999. And 4 months, let's see, 4 months after I got here, I met him. And he said to me, because I asked this question, I said, are you married? Are you in a relationship? Do you have any kids? I did. But we both was talking back and forth. This is what I asked him. He said these words. His wife took his children and left him. So I said again, like I said earlier, sorry to hear that. And I left it there because I don't know why she left and really didn't want to get into questioning him. Sometimes you can bite off more than you can chew, so to speak. So if a person wants you to know, you would think that they would share it and you give them a chance to, right? That's how I look at it. So I went over to his house maybe 3 or 4 months later, and we were sitting down on the floor. I said this yesterday and today, okay, on the other video. And he said, there's something I need to tell you. I'm like, okay. He said, "You see that picture up there on TV? It was a picture on his TV. He had one. He didn't have a he didn't have a flat screen. He had a nice TV though. He had a TV that you know, the old school TVs, but hell, at that time when I met him, it was in. It was two ladies in a picture on his TV that he had on his TV in the frame. He said, "That's my wife." He didn't explain to me the heavy set one or the small one because that's the size of the ladies. There was a small frame one and a heavy set frame one. So I'm like, okay. He said, "That's my wife." Now, like I told you, he had already said his wife took their children and left. He said, "That's my wife." He showed me who she was. She was the heavy set woman. I ain't got nothing against that because I'm a heavy set woman, okay? But when I met him, I wasn't. I was skinny mini. Whoo! You better ask somebody. So serious. But anyhow, he said she passed away. Now, by this time, it's probably, like I said, 4 months I met him. So when I went over to his house, so that had to have been what, 6, 8 months? So I met him. That's 4 months, September. So about January, yeah, still didn't judge. But it kind of puzzled me a little bit. Who would say their wife took their children? See that now, maybe that was the size of a quarter red flag, right? But she really passed away. Oh, Lord. This woman had 6 kids. I said she had 6 kids. They didn't have any children together, but the little girl, she was in her mama's stomach when he met her. So he was the only father that she knew. And let me tell you, she called him daddy and he called her his daughter. Okay. She came over to his house because when the woman passed away, his wife, I didn't know this. I wasn't even in this state. Okay. She was staying with her sister. Okay. So she wanted to come over. I still didn't say nothing. I mean, hey, we talking, getting to still know each other. Maybe it was a red flag. I'm about to say it. But I don't have no problem with nobody having a child. Okay. And I still didn't know the complete story. Didn't. Because again, I didn't say, well, why did you no. No, 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 no. Because see, you're gonna put your foot in your mouth, not me. I observed. And the little girl came, her older sister and her friend brought her youngest sister, which was 12 years old at the time. She was diabetic and she was a heavy set little girl. Shoot though. And I was sitting on the sofa and she wanted to sit down too. And she took her legs and crossed them over like men's do, not ladies, because we cross our legs a different way. And she acted like she was trying to hit me. That's the way I took it. Okay. Yeah. And she had Tourette's. So once I found that out, I said, well, maybe that's what it was. But no, she was trying to kick me later on as time go on. So he asked me, his mother, a friend of his, which is a guy friend that he used to work with, and my mom, me, his mother, my mom, his guy friend. They kept asking him for money for her, the little girl. And so he asked us, what should he do? Everybody said the same thing. If you want the little girl to have some money, when she come over, you take her to the store and spend the money on her because you'll know exactly what you're getting and what the money's going towards. Oh, no. He took and gave that girl $200, I want to say, the sister, the older sister for the younger sister. And everybody was like, why did he ask us and he already had his... I'm just saying, it's so funny. And he already knew what he was going to do. He already knew that He was gonna give he already knew he was gonna give the older sister the money for the girl. And so, okay, maybe that's a red flag too, right? I just didn't want to interfere knowing they just lost their mother, okay? And being that they lost their mother, they needed him. I'm just keeping it real because he knew these kids. The little girl, like I said, she was in her mama. So 12 years he knew her. The other ones, they was older, so longer. And he was their dad, stepdad, right? So it was funny. They kept asking for him for money. So it was Halloween. I said this, trick or treating about to come up. And we took the little girl to Walmart to look for her costume. I don't like saying brats, but you could tell she was spoiled. Okay. She had temper tantrums, spoiled. I didn't say nothing. Okay. He bought her the costume. Me, her, my mom, and my stepdad, my mom's husband. And I say that because my dad raised me. I didn't have nothing against my mom's husband though, but my dad raised me. Okay. Mm-hmm. We went to the Golden Corral. And mind you, I said she's diabetic, right? So it was three adults and she was the minor child. So we all was sitting down eating and she wanted some dessert. But what she wanted, being that she was diabetic, he didn't think that she should have it, had it. She didn't need it. Let me say it like that. And my mom said, because my mom was diabetic, she said, no, baby, maybe you should get something else. Just keeping it real. I didn't say not a word, nothing. This little girl got up, went to the bathroom or restroom, and there was a payphone back there. I didn't know it was there until later on. She got on the phone, called her sister, and by the time we got back to his house, it was me, my mom, stepdad, and him, and the little girl. Her sister and her man had pulled up. Okay, he stayed on a busy street. So they had to pull up on the side of the road because my mom had a long old school yellow Cadillac. And when I tell you that was a classic, it was a classic. Classic. And then he had a driveway. But anyhow, so the sister got out like she was about to run up on me, basically. And we was just like this. I'm talking about literally like this. My mama got out of that car. My mama was bowdy. So she lied and told her sister that I made her cry in that restaurant. So I left with my mom and my stepdad because I wasn't going to stay there. He didn't do nothing to me now. So that wasn't a red flag there. But maybe it was a red flag because of the kids. But I'm going to get to that point. I'm not justifying. I ain't leaving nothing out. I'm telling like a TI is, okay? So I went to my mom's house and he called me. And I didn't want to talk because I felt like, now that I think about it, of course, it was the right thing to do, but I didn't feel like I should have to do that because that was his house. You get what I'm saying? But I got it. Understand it. To keep things down. Because honey, it was about to be on and popping, and I'm not lying. I was 33. I was in my 30s, early 30s. So I wasn't in no 40s and 50s. Okay. Still legal and a grown woman, but I was in my 30s. Okay. He called, I didn't want to talk, and he kept calling. So eventually I got on the phone. My mom said, talk, say what you have to say. If you don't want to be bothered, So I told him I didn't want to. I didn't want to talk to him when I had nothing to do with them. That was too much drama, etc. But as the next day came around, that day was intensified. He told me they're not allowed to come over his house no more, and it's not going to happen again. He did not lie. It didn't happen again. Not to that extent. So as time went on, the the oldest sister's son's dad was his roommate, but he had a different girlfriend. I'm trying to make sure I say it right, y'all. His girlfriend, she was Mexican, and she had one or two kids by him. So I think he had three children by the oldest sister to the youngest girl. Thank you so much. Shout out to, I'm going to just say Blossom. Thank you. God bless you. Y'all hit likes up, please. And so thank you when you come through the door. Hello, hello, hello. So I had to greet my subscribers. So I ain't getting sidetracked and I ain't lying about this and making up nothing either. Connie boom. I was ready to get back on here and talk about this. And it's going to lead to what this topic is about. Little backstory. But hey, who doesn't like a good story? Okay? A truthful good story. Not a lie good story. But anyhow, so she started, the Mexican girl, she told me about what he went through, the friend of mine at that time. I'm like, whoa. Then the guy, which was his stepdaughter, the oldest one, the little girl, the one that had a child by him, he was his roommate, and he started saying stuff. I think he was at work. He must have been at work, but anywho. And I'm like, whoa, okay. His family, the guy I was talking to, started telling me things. And I was like, what the heck am I in? I never share with him what anyone has said because that's messy, okay? And still, even though I heard this, it wasn't nothing that he did, if it makes sense. It was something that was done to him. And what was done to him, this is where it's coming into the abuse and what men go through. The woman was older than him. When he met her, I think he was no more than 21 years old. Let me say it like that. He wasn't no 17. He was of age. And she was like 16, 17 years older than him. Now, this is crazy. She hired a man, which was him, to babysit her children. Who does that? And when he started coming over, she manipulated his young mind. Boy meets girl, girl like boy, boy likes woman. And the lifestyle that she lived was out there. Okay, let me just say it like that. Was out there. Street life, okay? She swooped him up and moved him to Texas. The sister told me she went over there because they hadn't heard nothing from him because they knew where they lived at. And the house was empty. I didn't know him. They moved to Texas. And he told me they lived in like motels and stuff like that, and the money was running low. I think she had family members there, but anywho. And she told him he needed to get out there and get a job. Mm-hmm. This is when he already knew about auto mechanics and stuff like that. So I'm not lying. This man was a hard worker, dedicated worker, not lazy by far at all. And I said, Lord have mercy. He was a good provider. With both my husbands, I didn't really lack financially, but it wasn't just them doing it. I'm just saying they worked. And so so he didn't take care of me because when he met me, duh, I had a credit union. So I'm a no, yeah. So they went to Texas. Money was low. He ended up going to like lawnmower places and car places. In the back of a lawnmower place where they have riding lawnmowers, blowers, clippers, edgers, all the things that you use if you have a landscaping business. Okay, let me just say it like that. And they had some back there that needed to be fixed, but they didn't really want to invest the money into it. Sometimes they would use the parts. And some kind of way he made some kind of I don't know if they just gave it to him. I can't remember that part. Deal. He started fixing lawnmowers, riding lawnmowers, the blowers that you get the leaves and stuff, the trimmers, and selling them. That's how he was able to, financially secure a bag, pretty much. Take care of her and her children. She had six, mind you, like I said. Some kind of way, they end up moving back to the state where I met him, but I still didn't know him at this point. And the woman was sick. She had a lot of illnesses, rest her soul. Like I said, she ain't did nothing to me because I know the woman, okay? And even if I did, I still don't wish nothing bad on no one having health issues. And so, as I found out, when he got paid, he had a good job. He was working for landscape when I met him. And I'm talking about his checks would be anywhere from $2,000 plus a week. A week. Now, mind you, back then he was getting checks because I don't know if he just started the job, but sometimes you're not completely totally 100% on payroll, and then they keep that receipt part. Well, anyhow, that's what he had, and how I know he came when I was over there, gave me the check, and I'm like, okay, so serious, y'all. This is no lie. But then, because he always came home and he left his clothes, in the garage, or he didn't bring them inside because he worked around a lot of trees and stuff, and he didn't know if he had poison ivy. Because at one time I kind of was breaking out, but he started leaving his stuff out, and he would clean it and wouldn't bring it in the house, shoes and everything, and then he'd like have shorts on and go and take a shower, and then we'd start talking. So he did all that. He said, I need to go and cash the check so I could get some gas and something for lunch. Okay, I get it. But he was doing it often. And I don't know if he ended up telling me or I asked him. More likely, I think I asked him, could I ask you something? Why are you coming home almost on E, literally, giving me your check? I said it was a test at first. Probably was. And you don't have no lunch food and you didn't have no gas. The reason why he did this, because he couldn't. When he was with her, he couldn't cash his check. He had to bring it home and give it to mama, so to speak. And I don't think nothing's wrong with that. But the problem that, like I said again, the red flags wasn't with me and him, but the stories was red flags, I guess, right? I said, whoa. So the guy, the girl, his friend, his siblings had already told me somewhat of the story. And one day we was in his room on the floor talking, nothing else. He used to love chocolate chip cookies and vanilla ice cream. And we sitting on the floor on the mattress because he had gotten rid of some of the stuff that they had together. This is once I found out everything, y'all. Okay, ain't like I came in and tore up. No, I'm not no homeworker. Oh no 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 no. Cause mind you, like I said, I asked him, was he married and had any kids? Okay, he started telling me his story, and when this man told me his story, I got to get up close and personal on this. He bawled like a baby. Moment of silence. This man cried like a baby, and I held him. I held him. Mhm. He was being abused. I don't know if it was physically, but I know it was mentally and psychologically and emotionally. Um, to the point to where he wanted to get a tattoo of his mom on his arm, on his right arm. And he kind of like had a ribbon from like this part, like the elbow on down, that he was going to get with his mom and his siblings because he had three sisters and two brothers. There was six of them, three boys, three girls. Instead of him being able to put his mom and siblings' name on that ribbon, so to speak, that's what it kind of looked like to me. She had him told him he could not, and he put all six of her kids. She had six kids, and um, and the mom I think was her or something, but I know six kids. He couldn't put his mama or siblings on his arm, the tattoo. So I'm saying to myself, I'm sharing this story because I'm talking about how people treat men as well. This is why, if anybody's worrying about, wondering, I should say, not worried, correction. I'm talking about people treating men on this moment. This is the segment wrong. He started clearing out the house. But I started feeling some kind of way, and I used to tell my mom, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I used to cry and tell my mom, I said, you know what? I don't think I need to come over here no more. I'm just gonna put it out there. I didn't feel comfortable knowing once I was getting all these pieces to the puzzle, being in a house where he went through all this trauma and his wife passed away in the living room. Now I'm gonna tell you what this is the truth. I stayed the night with him one night, and the living room was cold or cool in a certain spot. No one have to believe me. I used to call my mom. My mom is in heaven, and she knows she looking down on me saying, baby, tell it. Okay. I met his family. We went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's where he's from. And I met his family. And I told, well, he did, but they was asking me, but they wasn't like picking and questioning me. They told him to get me out of the house. Don't have that woman at that house. Now, mind you, people probably say, well, did y'all have sex there? Let me tell you something about me. I said it yesterday, I think it was. Yeah. Me and him both went to the health department together. Not me separate, not him separate. And when we got our results together. Okay. It was down the street from where he lived. I said that yesterday. Okay. He lived on the main street, perfect street. Like when he used to sell his lawnmowers and stuff and go to work, I would come over sometimes and he'd tell me, sit this one out, and ask for this, that. And sometimes I would ask for a little bit more because my honest opinion, he was low budget in it. I understand you don't overball it either because, you got to keep it within the range of somebody wanting to buy because they say, hell, I can go on and buy a new one. But everything fixed, he fixed to perfection. Okay. Yes. Small engine repair, and certificates and stuff like that. But anywho, man, he was a hard working man. He's still alive though. And I started helping him with his business. We was Bonnie and Clyde. We was like this. We was go-getters. We was both working, both got paid weekly. We never was broke. Never. He didn't believe in that. Kept food. No, I wasn't on no kind of assistance, no programs or nothing. Okay. It really, really, really damaged him. And it started damaging me. Mhm. And the reason why is because I was with him since 1999, but officially with him since 2000 until the marriage started going downhill 5 years after that. 2005. Out of the blue, God revealed something to me. I didn't go looking, searching, because they said you go looking for something, you might find it, right? Mm-mm, mm-mm, not me, not me. Because if my husband tell me he going to work, let me see this. If my husband say, "Baby, I'm getting ready to go to work," and call me when he get to work, I'm not going to question him. You sure you're going to work? No, I knew he went to work because his checks was proving it. I knew he went to work because he did not even like being laid off. Some of the jobs he had at the time. Well, he's work on construction sites and landscaping, so that's dealing with weather, right? And like one, he would have to be off maybe December until maybe February, March. So he was able to get unemployment. But that wasn't it, honey. He would go out there to them temp jobs, work his behind off, did his small engine repair. That man did not play about not having no. Whoo! Like I said, this ain't no bad thing. Bad stuff happened, but I ain't been messy about nobody. If they're good, they're good area. And both my husbands was providers, bought me things I didn't have to ask for. We weren't even together 5, 6 months, and he got me a car. I didn't have to ask for no money. I didn't have to ask to get my hair done. Of course, I had money too, but he was the type of person, if he went and shoveled snow, for instance, he had customers doing that. And he made, one time, he made about $800. And I think it was like eight, say for instance, if it was 825, he'd give me four and he'd keep the 425. I didn't have no problem with it. He would split it with me. And one of the reasons why is too, I had all the customers' address. I had a book, and I'm probably still got it in my room. And he some kind of way wasn't good with directions. And I think that's what happened to him mentally for being abused. Okay. This man was abused. So 2005, um, I got sick. I was a foster mom. We had a foster child together, me and him both. She wasn't just in my care, he is too, because we was married. They had to do the whole 9 yards of what they had to do for this child to get placed in our home. August of 2005, I got the child. May of 2005. So that was 3 months later. 3 months later, I would have to take the baby to visitations because, even though she was in my care, her mom's rights wasn't taken from her. And it'd be supervised visitations with the caseworker and stuff like that. Yes, they could have came and got her, but I did that. I dropped this. I dropped the baby off at oh, hey, how you doing, Isaac? On here sharing stories about me as being mistreated and abused. This is this segment. So I got sick out of nowhere. And my son and his friend was there. And it was time for me to pick the baby up. So they knew my son, he could go get the baby because if you're over 18, they have to do a background check and all that. And they knew who he was too, if they living with you. I called him. Our phones at the time had the same um, combined. Let me just say it like that. And a message came up. And back then, we had the cell phones where you had to go and buy the minutes. This was, like I said, this was back then, okay? For sure, a lot of people know what I'm talking about. I'm going old school with it, right? 2005 to be exact. Yeah, because that's when I got the baby. But anyhow, had to go get the baby. I was sick, so I called him to ask him could he pick up me some medicine on the way back. I didn't think to ask my son because my son was doing his thing. He went got the baby and hauled ass. Okay, so the baby was there, and a message came up on his phone. I didn't think none of it because I sure don't go snooping. Like for your girl. Like for your girl. I'm telling a story about how men's be mistreated as well. This is what I'm talking about. And I'm not bashing a woman. I didn't even put a woman in here. I'm the only woman I put in here is me and the woman, the other woman that, okay? I ain't making women all in general be bad, but I'm talking about what I've been through. This is my story. This is a story and topic that I decided to share today, okay? And this is May 17, 2024. Also, when you share stories, it's part of healing. It's a part of your journey too. I'm not messy. I ain't put nobody's name on it or nothing. I ain't even say what state the person's in. But it's still my story. Okay. Maybe I'll publish a book one day if I get run across a good publisher. I don't know. Because honey, everybody, every one of us have a book in us. If you sit down, tell stories, that's a book. If you can sit down, talk about what you done been through, that's a book. So, anywho, a woman's message came up. I didn't think none of it because, I mean, wasn't no name called, could have been the wrong number. I still, hey, let me tell you, I'm not going to hound you either. So that was that. Another message came through. We married, we had joint accounts, okay? And even if you wanted to, you could go, I didn't do this, okay? Could have went and got phone records. That's too deep. Okay? That's too deep. The only way you do something like that is if somebody's missing or they done took off and you want to track them down or something. I don't go running behind no one. Trust and believe this. My kids know this. Because if you're supposed to be with someone, you shouldn't have to go out there in the highways and byways to try to track them down. Honey, I'm going to get myself in the bed and go to sleep. You can lose rest. I ain't. Mm-mm. And even if I'm sad or mad at you and you done took off, I'm going to get to that part. The woman called again. And it was like 11 something at night. Still no name. And really like a minimal, like, hey, how you doing? Call me back type of thing. Came in again like 4 something in the morning. Hey, baby. And a nickname. So when she said the nickname, I knew she was talking about my husband. Now, the only thing I did to get proof, and I'm going to be honest with you, because I asked him to give him an opportunity. Because let me tell you something. One thing you is not going to do is constantly be with me out there in the streets, coming home to me, and you end up giving me a disease. Okay. I made all this rhyme, okay, and I wanted it to because it's right on time. And so I was going over to my mom's house to get my hair done. At the time, I was getting perms. My mom was the only person at that time I wanted in my head, okay, because it was my mom. My mom didn't stay too far from me. I said this before. My baby sister stayed across the street. I stayed close by, but I had to go around and go through a light to get to my mom. So give and take. If the light, maybe 5 minutes. If not, probably three, two, whatever. Close. And then my other sister stayed, and it probably took her about 5, 10 minutes because she stayed close by, and then my other sister too. We all lived by one another, and I stopped at the 7-Elevens. There was a police station across the street from it, and me and him talked. He always believed, like, if I was gone, he wanted to know my whereabouts. I had no problem telling you, and to be safe. And we just talked until I got to my mom's house. I said I got to my mom's house, and I said I'm here, and I see you when I get home. The baby was at the house with him. This is the child we had in our care, foster care. I had bought some tape, little bitty tapes. You had them handheld tape recorders. I had a black one and a silver one. One of them had to take tape to keep the button down. The other one was like, and something in my spirit told me to take that tape cassette, put it underneath my sofa in my living room, Scott Simon, okay? Because 1 and 1 wasn't adding up to 2. And T's wasn't cross and I's wasn't dot, okay? The next day when he left to go to work, I went in there and I ran it. I heard my baby's voice. She was up by the TV. He kept telling her, get away from the TV. The nickname he gave her, I forget the nickname he gave her. He gave her a nickname. He loved her. I ain't gonna lie. See, I'm not messy. He really did. He really did. Because like I said, he didn't have any children biologically. He didn't have none and still don't. I did 3 times, maybe 4. Because this is proof. This is receipts. Because 2 and 2 is not adding up to 4. 2 and 2 is 20. No. A lot of stuff was happening. And I said one day to him, I said, we need to talk about something. Are you cheating on me? Okay. I called the woman. He left to go to work. He called me and he told me, he said, I'm at work. And he would have to get on the highway because he had good jobs. And he didn't care if he had to drive an hour away. But anyhow, he didn't have to. It took him give and take because it'd be early. No one's on the road. Probably from our house at that time, 30 minutes. But we always lived, it's so funny, by intersections. So not intersection, the highway. Y'all, to get on and get off quick. Always, no matter where we live. And it was so funny, we made it that way. Makes sense. He got to work, called me. We talked for a minute because he was just there and shooting the breeze with me a little bit. And he hung up. I was talking to the woman. She said, hold on. It's him. He had hung up from me to call her. He still didn't know this. I must tell you, God will bring things to you. I didn't go looking for none of this. No one has to believe me. I didn't go snooping for none of this. It took me to get sick. And then a little sick joke that he did. He said, what if I told you that I was talking to someone named Kelly. There's a reason behind that. I'm gonna leave that there. And I said, "Are you serious?" He tried to talk to my brother's girlfriend at the time. Her name was Kelly. Man, her squashed the dough because it seemed like she was trying to be like a little flip. When I'm big, it was him. Okay, just keep it real. Because we could talk. Don't just try to check me because I'm coming to you correctly, asking you a question. The only thing I asked, I'm gonna be honest with you. Did he try to come on to you? That's what I asked her. Being nice, okay? And it seemed like it was about to go left, but it didn't. It was straight. Ooh, Lord Jesus. So it came down to be we would go on little trips, we would go on vacations. He literally spent money on me. This is my husband too. And wine and dine and gifts and cars and TVs and rings and jewelry. I'm so serious. I'm not exaggerating. That's the reason why I tell a lot of people right now today, I'm not materialistic. I love nice things and I love a clean home. I done had it. I done had furs and expensive jewelry and brand spanking new cars that came off the lot with just 8 to 10 miles on it. Mm-hmm. I done been to Germany. I done had foxes, like the foxes that you wear around your shawl. Had a German friend make one. I had sheepskin carpets, handcrafted crystal and porcelain, and I've been to nutcracker factories. I had all that. This is where it gets stupid for me. All money ain't good money. I had my money too. But I also had husbands that didn't rely on my money. But if I wanted to pay a bill, I mean, I could. But if I didn't need to, I didn't need to, right? We went on a lot of trips, did a lot of things together. I traveled with both my husbands. I've been in a lot of places, states and everything. And by the way, I love to fish. He would buy these gifts because he was doing stuff too. I remember one time it was on the Halloween. No, why Halloween? Excuse me. Thanksgiving exit. And my son, I, and him, I used to smoke cigarettes. We had brand new furniture. And wasn't nobody at the house but me, my daughter, my youngest one. She was a teenager. And me, him, and my teenage daughter. No one else was there. Do you hear me? No one. He came in the room and said, "Come here. Look what somebody did to our sofa, our chair, or whatever." I'm like, okay. A hole from a cigarette was in the arm of it was the love seat. He did that to give himself a reason to kind of like be heated up a little bit so he can leave. And he tried to blame my oldest son. Well, my only son, but my son, my oldest child, I should say. He wasn't there. But he made it seem like we was in the room and someone was there when it happened. No one was there but me, him, and my youngest daughter. My youngest daughter didn't smoke cigarettes, and I was in the room. I stayed in my room because there came a point in time where he was doing all these things and things was happening. I didn't even want to go over. I didn't even want to go over to my own mom's and sisters and family's home. This man would literally show out in front of my mom. Now, one would probably say, "You probably showed out with your family in front of him and this, that, and the third." No, I didn't. No, I did not. No, I didn't. My mom said, I know he embarrassed you. My mama liked him a lot until she said something to me. She said, I don't think he'd ever cheat on you. This is the beginning because she liked him a lot. My whole family did, everybody. So he wasn't in no relationship with me, marriage that no one in my family didn't like. Every one of my sisters, I have three sisters, and my brother, and my mom, and my stepdad, and my sister's husband, rest in soul. We used to be real close. It'd be my baby sister, her husband, and mine. We used to go everywhere pretty much together, fishing. We played karaoke, out to eat, little trips, all the things. We go over my sister's house, the one that was on here earlier. She stayed on a busy street, and she used to have real bad, big yard sales. And we would take our things over there because, like I said, he sold lawnmower, riding lawnmowers. And across the street was an empty lot. It used to be a like a school or a church or a house there, and they knocked it down. So he would go over there in that yard and do donuts in the yard, testing his lawnmower, but also being a jerk. Okay, I'm trying to keep it cute because I don't want to be like that way, honey. So this is as time was going on, he was doing stuff. I still didn't really like. I knew about the one, but I still didn't really. I guess you could say almost like didn't have proof, but you knew something wasn't right though either. He stole my vehicle. I had a what was it? A Plymouth Voyager van. It kind of looked like it was like a lavender color, but it was like a baby blue, purplish kind of color. And my mom, at the time, her car had broke down, and he told her, not me, that she can use my van. Now, mind was the one like really that said it without really kind of like discussing it with me. Him and his sister went over my mom's house and stole my van. He had another one, and he had a lawnmower. He had put it in the other one and took off to go to Milwaukee. Let me show you how God don't like ugly and crazy by pretty. Tell me why. Because he took me and showed me. The vehicle broke down right when he was getting gas to get back on the interstate, the highway. Again, I didn't go looking for nothing. Everything came to me. My mom looked outside. She said, your vehicle's gone. Vehicle's gone. My oldest sister knew his sister, and she told me he came and swooped her up. Broke down. They still proceeded in my vehicle because the one he was taking there to get, I don't know if he was giving it to a sibling or not, but mine didn't break down. That one did. They proceeded to go. I was always by myself. Mind you, like I said, my family and I lived like literally close by each other. My mom didn't know really what I was going through. No one knew. But towards the end, it started like presenting itself and stuff like that. He would loan my sister. Well, actually, he was acting like he was a loan shark. Okay, like he get paid. Whew, I'm the reason why he had the job he's at now. He's been there since August, September of 2005. Okay, so count the years. And at the time, I don't know how much he was getting paid. Don't get me lying, but he done got his OSHA license and went up, 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 up. where he can get paid anywhere from $40, $50 on the construction site. I got the job. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, that was my husband. I helped him. I always gave both my husbands a pat on the back and was their biggest cheerleader. You're supposed to, right? He would loan my sister $800 and tell her that she would have to give him 1,000. So that's a loan shark. So it got to the point where my mom, I'm trying to get to it all. I don't care if I'm on here 2 hours. This is a story to be told. My mom started kind of like, excuse me, ain't no kinda. My mom was mad at me. Ain't no kinda. She was mad at me. She said, "How can you let him do your sister like that?" Uh, y'all gonna probably say, "Girl, you retarded and slow." I didn't know it. It's how he present it. He would be like, he'd come home, come in the room. I'm in my room because I had a TV in there and I had a small refrigerator, but I wasn't always in there. But when he came home, sometimes I wouldn't be in there because I didn't want to be around him at this point in time. I didn't like being with him. And I kept my composure because I had my daughter, son. Actually, all my kids at one time was living with me at that time. And he showed out. He was the only one in this house that showed out. He tried to test my son. My daughter's the one that I tell you that I'm taking care of. Her boyfriend at the time, my oldest daughter's husband, told him, I don't care if your husband, your dad died and stuff like this. So anywho, my mom said that. I was like, huh? I did not know what was going on. So what he would do would come home and say, guess what? I'm gonna just say V and L. Okay, I ain't putting their name out there. Called me and asked me could I get a loan. I'm like, okay, I'm quiet, y'all. Y'all will think I'm lying. I'm like there. Because I want you to tell the story and finish the story before I cut you off for saying anything. I want to get the full concept of what you're saying, okay? I'm a listener, not a talker. It might seem like it, but I'm sharing some things. I'm like, hmm. As time went on, I just started saying in my mind something's not right because he was doing it quite often. Mind you, I said he got paid weekly. So it was almost like a weekly thing, honestly, Scouts honor. Hmm. He's kind of like was huffing and puffing and man and doing all this and stuff like this and like trying to get my attention, but also try to make it seem like he's mad. Y'all ain't gonna guess what he did. He been already gave it to him on the way coming home from his job on the highway. He would take the exit off the highway because my sister at the time lived close by the highway too. He been stopped by, gave it to her and her husband, come home and complain about it to me, to the kind of like start up a friction type of thing. Mind you, my baby stayed there. It wasn't no loudness, but still, things was going on. And I wasn't saying nothing about it. And even like what I said about the cigarette, I didn't finish that. No one was there but me and him and my baby girl. He burnt that, put that cigarette hole in that sofa so he can leave. And he went to Milwaukee. Try to find a reason. You ain't got to try to find a reason with me. If you want to leave, go. Because I sure am not the one that's going to run behind you at no door. I'm not going to do that. I will tell you to leave. I don't feel like doing this. It's almost like you don't got no oomph in you, but you really do. It's just that you fed up to be tired, fed up and tired. See you when you get home. Bye. And because I didn't say anything, he would come back, get his clothes, leave, and then he'd try to come back, and I won't let him in because at this time he didn't have a key because he gave me his key, and I wasn't gonna keep letting you come back and forth in my house with my daughter being mental. Okay. And I find out he was bipolar. And I heard manic depressive. I didn't know what the hell these words was. Okay. Until one day I just said in my mind, I said, I'm gonna call the hospital and ask someone a question. You know how you can call and ask some things before you take your child to the hospital, whatever. Lady told me what it was and what it meant. So by this time, I'm already in this mess, right? Of course, red flags. He started going to Chicago. He was going to go with this man on the truck with him. No, he wasn't that way, to my knowledge. But the man was a truck driver, and he was going to ride with him and stuff. And when he went there, I met this Caucasian woman. He probably met her before he went, okay? She called his phone. He would tell me, could you get the phone? I answer, because I'm going to tell you another thing. If your phone's sitting by me, well, you know, people put their phones on locks. I'm not going to pick your phone up to look and see what you texting and what numbers up in your directories and all that stuff, because I'm going to tell you what he did do. He sat up there and put this one chick's name. When it rang, I rung. It was underneath his sister's name. Come on now, you got to come correct. I know what things that people can do. So as time went on, I was losing interest in him. All interest. I didn't want to have no sex, kiss, hold hands. I didn't even want to go nowhere with him. Matter of fact, I stopped going with him to Milwaukee. We used to go up there quite a bit. I didn't want to go with him. His own niece checked him. I had to say something to him when he left me at his brother's house for a good reason. I'm going to say this. He was staying at the hospital with his mom all night because she had cancer. And we had drove up there. And I told him, I said, you know what? Spend the night with your mom at the hospital. I didn't have no problem. I knew who his brother and his brother's wife was. And they had 3 kids. 3? Now they got 4, I think. And so it wasn't like I was there by myself and with a man or whatever. It was the wife was there too. And I felt okay because I knew them. It wasn't the first time I met them. We've been up there several times. He worked, she worked, kids went to school. I was there by myself. So he stayed up there all night and it was time to come back. And I asked him, I'm just gonna keep it real transparent. I said, could you when you get from the hospital, I need to go get some laxatives. Okay. Laxatives. I said it because their house, I couldn't go to the bathroom because it wasn't presentable. Okay. And my bowels seemed like they locked. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't want to sit down. Me and him literally cleaned the kitchen, washed clothes, and he cleaned the bathroom. My ex-husband did. Yes, he did. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. And he was a very clean man. Because he wanted me to feel okay. And now, hey, kudos, right? Instead of him coming back, he went to somebody's house to fix the car. So when he got there, I had said this to him. You don't get me nowhere and just treat me in a kind of way and ignore me and neglect me. I'm sitting up here telling you I need some things. Or better yet, I didn't need to go with you. You could have went and picked them up and brought them to me and went and fixed somebody's car. So on that note, that's showing me like you showing out a little bit, and I don't want to go with you no more, nowhere. He would go by himself. Bye. It's his family. I ain't keeping nobody away from their family. His family liked me. Matter of fact, they loved me. Even his brothers. Me and his sister. He stopped talking to one of his sisters because his sister checked him about about cheating on me. This is so true, and she was so wholeheartedly. He told me when she would call him, I don't want to talk to her and stuff like that. So, anywho, he went, and this is the time where I found. Okay, he was in the kitchen. I was in the room, rang, and he told me to answer it because I told him it was his sister or somebody. Mind you, he must have forgot that he put that girl's name underneath one of his family members. Phone rang. It was a woman. And I said, hello. She said, can I speak to such and such? I said, may I ask who it is? Why you want to know who it is? Now, first off, if you a sister or a sibling, you're not going to ask me or say that because I said, may I take a message or may I ask? He asked me to answer his phone. And I said to her, I said, well, this is my husband's phone. And he stated that he wanted me to answer it. And I did. And I was relating the message to him because he wanted me to. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if he did this intentionally. I can't say he did. So I got up out the bed, went into the kitchen, and I said, some female is on the phone and she's trying to get smart with me. Come to find out, when he went to Milwaukee, he bought her a car. How I ended up finding out he bought her a car. Me and my baby sister, see, I'm keeping it real. My baby sister acted like she was one of his women and told her, I don't know what you calling my man for. Basically, just little kind of like foreshadowing the story, but it's the truth. She said, because he's this, he's that with me. She said, you don't want me to tell you what he did when he came up here to see me. I was on the phone too. She didn't know it though. She said he bought me a car. Now he used to talk to her way before he got married, way before he knew me, and she was pregnant. And she said he was the father, which in fact he wasn't. Because matter of fact, I seen the paternity test because he took it when he was young, and then she came up with that idea again, saying that he needed to pay child support and he needed me, just like I said earlier. I applied for his job for him. He needed me to go look up the child support thing in the state that she was in and he used to live in. And so the information came to our house and he showed me, and he wasn't lying. He said, look, I don't know what her problem is, but okay, nevertheless, you knew all this, but you still went down there and bought her a car. Honey, boom. The last straw that broke the camel's back. And it's so funny. I have a grandson. His birthday is May 28th. His sister got married 2010, May 28th. And that January, I had the most horrible thing happen to me. You know what? I'm going to come back on because I know this is a long lie today. I'm going to write down. There's going to be a part 3 to the story. Okay? I'm gonna eat this food up. Check my messages because people's. Let's see here. I write down what I'm saying so I will y'all can hear it. Okay, part three. This is gonna be part three. And sister's wedding. That's where I left off at. This is a trip. This was in uh oh god. May 28th, 2010. So I'm gonna conclude this live and I'm gonna come back on. I don't know if it's gonna be today though. It's 3:38 Central Standard Time. I might come back on before my granddaughter gets home from school because sometimes this is the thing. People will probably say, well, I thought she was a grandmother at 5. I don't hear no kids. They at school. And that's a lot of times that's when I like to do my lives and stuff because I don't like for the kids to hear everything. If they home, I could say, why am I saying certain things in front of a child that is home? This is adult stuff, right? So that's why I go live then. Now y'all done seen them a lot of times, but I ain't talking about nothing, that's for adults. So on that note, Ohana's, it is Friday, the 17th, May the 2. I don't say Friday, May the 17th, 2024. You gotta come back for more. I will be returning to show you some more. Anyhow, on that note, Ohana's, we are family. You know why? Because I said so.